Very serious flash flood warnings have already been issued for portions of Southern California. I'm meteorologist Jody Kodish. I've been a meteorologist here in Southern California for over 20 years. National Weather Service has just issued a public advisory with all of the latest details regarding Tropical Storm Hilary. So I'm going to give you the details exactly as they come from the National Weather Service. You can give yourself a break, take a break from the news, and get just the facts here on my channel, okay? As I said yesterday, we were already going to be getting heavy rain and wind far out in advance of the eye wall. In fact, we're going to be seeing more action, heavier rain before it even makes landfall in Southern California later this afternoon. So here's what we know. A tropical storm warning is in effect for all of Southern California right now. So Hilary is moving quickly toward the north-northwest near 25 miles per hour, so is picking up speed, going to continue to pick up speed as she approaches Southern California later this afternoon. So if your area has already been receiving rain or wind, which many areas of Southern California have, that is not the actual storm yet. We are waiting for the arrival of the storm into this afternoon. Nonetheless, we already have some warnings to tell you about in some areas that have received a lot of rain in a quick amount of time, causing the National Weather Service to issue flash flood warnings, and that is very serious. I'll get to that in 1 second. So a little weakening is expected, but Hilary is expected to remain a tropical storm before she reaches Southern California this afternoon. Maximum sustained winds with this storm system are at about 65 miles per hour, so drastically less than they were 24 hours ago. Nonetheless, we are already seeing wind gusts in California. I'll give you an example. Potrero, California had a wind gust of about 63 miles per hour. Crestwood, California recorded a 53 mile per hour wind gust. And in Mexico, Playa El Paraíso, observation recorded of about 53 miles per hour. So you get the picture. Now, as the storm approaches, one thing I want to say is if you're at the coastline or in the immediate inland valleys, yes, you're going to get rain. Yes, you're going to get wind. But our big concern with this is the mountains and the deserts. So basically the far interior area of Southern California. As the storm pushes in later this afternoon and evening, that's the area that's going to get what we call the front right quadrant. And that is the most powerful part of every hurricane. So we are watching those areas for flooding, and a warning has been issued already. The National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning for areas of Southern California, including the far southeastern portion of San Diego County, so the mountains and deserts in particular. At 12:19 this afternoon, Doppler radar indicated we were seeing very heavy rainfall rates, enough to cause flash flooding and enough to cause the warning. So this warning is in effect through 2:30 this afternoon. If you are seeing this after 2:30, it doesn't mean that it's expired. It just means that this initial one has been expired, and we could see others throughout the day. So you want to keep a look at my page so I can give you the updates if others are issued in the time that I have posted this. So life-threatening flash flooding is either imminent or already occurring in those areas. Heavy rain is producing flash flooding, and the radar has confirmed it. This is the impact, they say, is life-threatening flash flooding of creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses. I know that sounds scary, but it needs to sound scary. I'll explain. It needs to sound very scary because Southern Californians are not used to this, and a lot tend to disregard what they hear on the news, okay? So what we're having right now is a scenario in the far east county where those roadways are going to be saturated and people thinking it's okay to kind of drive out. Listen, if you're in these areas, we're trying to keep you off of the I-8, so Interstate 8 between Pine Valley and Boulevard, Interstate 8 between Boulevard and Imperial County line, Highway 52 between Agua Caliente and Canebrake, Highway 52 between Canebrake and Imperial County line, Highway 2 between Vallecito or out near Vallecito Creek Road, Fish Creek Wash, Highway 52 between Shelter Valley and Agua Caliente, and then Boulevard and Ocotillo Wells. Those areas are dangerous right now, so stay inside, and that's why you're going to hear a lot of people talking about it. So areas along the coast from San Diego all the way up through Los Angeles County are expected to see anywhere from 2 to 3 inches. We've already seen areas in Los Angeles that have 1 to 2 inches. So this rainfall is panning out, and we haven't even seen the arrival of the actual storm yet. That'll happen later this afternoon. I'm looking close to 5, 6 o'clock in San Diego and then spreading northward. In any case, as I've been stressing the last couple of days, rainfall, heavy rainfall and high wind is possible, and it is already happening well before then. So as I said, 2 to 3 inches along the coast. We could see that amount for the inland valleys, but the biggest concern is the mountains and deserts where we're seeing much higher rainfall rates already. We've already had rainfall reports in the mountains of over 2 inches, and we're going to add to that, especially as the system comes onshore. We could see isolated areas. Keep in mind the term isolated, meaning not everywhere, but isolated areas in our mountains, desert slopes, deserts of 10 inches. Now, I hope that doesn't happen, but when the National Weather Service, the smartest meteorologists in the world, are saying this is an absolute possibility, and when I can confirm looking at my models that there is a lot of moisture with this system, we're going to put it out there. So please don't come under and say the media is hyping, this meteorologist is hyping. I do not hype on my page. This does not apply, the 10 inches of rain, to people at the beaches. This applies to isolated areas in the mountains, and we certainly don't want to get caught unprepared. So that's why you're hearing everybody let you know about it. Now, the winds could be particularly strong in all areas, but the higher terrain is at biggest risk. Tornadoes. National Weather Service is continuing to say a couple tornadoes are possible through this evening over far southeast California, western Arizona, southern Nevada, and far southwest Utah. Also, although we're not dealing with a gigantic swell out at the ocean like a storm surge, waves are dangerous. I've done weather a very long time in Southern California, for about 5 years in Palm Springs, before about 11, 12 years in San Diego. I continue to do the weather. I want to put a little warning out to all of my followers out in the desert. Palm Springs, Rancho Mirage, Indio, the whole Coachella Valley, please be very careful. You're on that upper right quadrant of where this storm is pushing on through, and those storms could be really intense. So we could get a lot of rainfall in those areas, and you want to be prepared. Do not be out on the roadways at all. We're going to be just fine. This storm system is pushing up out of Mexico into Southern California. The majority of us, it's going to be a storm, 2 to 3 inches. We can do this. For an isolated few, it's going to be scary. So that's why you have us telling you the information that you need to know, okay? But as I said, it's going to move through this afternoon and this evening, and I am hoping that it's right on track to be up and out of our hair by about 5 a.m. on Monday, and maybe just a few scraggling like little showers on Monday morning, and then out of our hair, okay? Now, I did mention this yesterday and you guys responded so well, so just continue to share my forecast. Be very careful what you're saying and doing in front of your children. If you have the news running 24/7, it's going to scare them inadvertently, and we don't need childhood trauma, okay? This could be a first for a lot of people, and that also applies to the elderly that could feel particularly unsafe right now. I had my television on literally for 30 seconds, and the first thing I tune into as a meteorologist is another meteorologist and 2 anchors talking about rattlesnakes coming up out of the ground and floating through the water, and how if you are out there, you could get bit by a rattlesnake, in a tarantula season in San Diego. And they were talking about tarantulas and rattlesnakes so much because that's hypey, you guys. That gets attention. That gets people to go, huh? What? Rattlesnakes, tarantulas? Never mind you, the reason we tell you not to walk through water is because there could be downed power lines and you can get electrocuted. Not to mention, we had a flash flood warning in effect that they were not talking about. So as a meteorologist, I just want to tell you, I don't work for a television station. I have the luxury of being my own boss. I am a certified meteorologist. I am sponsored by San Diego County Credit Union, so I don't have to resort to those tactics to get eyes on the screen. I am exactly where I need to be, online, where everybody is getting their weather from anyway, and I appreciate the support. I have had thousands of new followers over the past 48 hours. So many new followers. So welcome to my page. If you're just seeing me for the first time, please follow along, whether it's on TikTok or whether it's on Instagram. I would love to have you. And if you're in Southern California, make sure you are following me, because I'm going to be going bonkers on Southern California weather over the next rainy season. We're in an El Nino, so you never know. And also, if you're not in Southern California, still continue to follow, because if you found me on TikTok, you know I let you know whenever anything cool is happening in the sky, planet sightings, meteor showers, full moons. I got you. All right, as I said, my name's Jody, meteorologist Jody Kodish. I am signing out, and I'm going to bring you updates in my Instagram stories all day long, so meet me over on IG, and have a dry, safe, very safe